I'm going to teach you this fill. So it's pretty easy to do. All we're going to be doing is right, left, kick, right, left, kick. But we're just going to be walking it down the drums. The left hand's going to stay on the snare drum, but we're going to put some kind of quiet notes or accented loud notes in there to make it interesting in a moment. But essentially, the fill's just going to be right, left, kick, going off the first rack tom, then onto the second rack tom, right, left, kick, and then onto the floor tom, right, left. But then there's going to be no kick. Technically, there is going to be a kick as you come back to the groove for like a hi-hat and a click and a kick, but it's just right, left, kick, right, left, and then to restart it, a kick and a hi-hat together. So the whole thing sounding like this. But it still sounds a little bit vanilla, so to make it more interesting, it's the right hand going loud on that second left, because that's where your normal kind of backbeat be when you're like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and that's where your snare drum would normally be in a groove. So if you can replicate that within a fill, it makes it sound a little bit more interesting. So with that there, you've now got right, left, kick, right, left, kick, right, left, and you can go soft again or another loud note at the end, and that sounds like this. So you can see messing around with those kind of loud and soft notes on the snare drum really makes an impact dynamically and gets people bobbing their head rather than it just sounding so rather than, which sounds a little bit more kind of boring. So that loud note really makes a difference. And remember, you don't need to hit hard on the snare drum. You just need to lift your stick loud, and you'll naturally get a louder note. It's not about like kind of digging into the drum. Just lift your stick high, and it will be a louder snare drum. And then if you want to play it quietly, just don't lift your stick so much. And so on. So, and then I'm just going to put it into a little bit of a solo to show you kind of where I'd use it around the kit. And you get the idea, lots of stuff you can do with that. So I hope you guys have some fun. By the way, if you'd like to book a one-on-one lesson with me, I do it all online. Please get in touch and we can have a session like this and I can help you with your drumming. And for everything else, please check out Drumdex.